Hailing frequencies are open. Welcome to another session of Star Trek Explorers, a Star Trek Adventures tabletop role-playing game taking place on the U.S.S. Venture, a Constitution-class starship on a 5-year mission of exploration. I'm going to start out with a recap of the previous session, which was entitled Red Alert. The U.S.S. Venture engaged with an Orion pirate vessel in starship combat. Just as the Venture gained the upper hand in the fight, the Orions created a warp core imbalance that opened a wormhole. The Orion vessel entered the wormhole in the hopes of escaping the battle. The Venture pursued the Orions, but were quickly swept up in the powerful gravimetric distortions within the wormhole. The Venture eventually emerged into a seemingly endless expanse of empty space, an interphasic no man's land where wormholes opened and closed at random. At various intervals, enormous spacefaring creatures that resemble eels emerged from one wormhole before darting into another. The crew began experiencing psychological effects from prolonged exposure to inner space before Dr. Ozol managed some scientific wizardry to predict the opening of the next wormhole. This allowed the Venture to pass through into normal space. However, the flight proved catastrophic when the Venture flew through the wormhole, only to crash land on an alien world where it appeared to be held fast to the surface by a giant tentacled monstrosity. Even worse, the crash rendered the Venture's dilithium crystals completely useless. So that's where we will pick up the today's session, which is entitled Escape Velocity. I'll have each of you introduce your characters, and you are on the bridge of the U.S.S. Venture, a Constitution-class bridge. There is only emergency lighting. You guys are on backup power. The warp core is completely cold, and just through the view screen, you can see the flickering image of this writhing, tentacled monstrosity that seems to cover most of the planet's surface, and it's actually pinning the hull of the Venture to the surface of the planet. So let's start out with Young. Go ahead and introduce your character and his response to what he's seeing out the view screen.
I'm playing Commander Handohan, and he's the security chief of U.S.S. Venture. He's looking out the window and going, "Oh my God, Captain, what's going on here? I've never seen anything like that before. Is that a gigantic tentacle?" And he's kind of freaking out.
Okay, that's a great transition to Captain Harriman sitting in the center seat. Go ahead and introduce your character, Paul.
Hi, I'm playing Captain Robert Harriman. He's the new commander of the U.S.S. Venture. Still kind of finding his feet, although considering what we've been through in a very short space of time, that's going to be happening fairly soon. At the moment, he's freaking out a little bit at what's outside of the view screen. But his first concern, as always, is for the ship and the crew. So he's going to start organising damage control parties and getting status reports and just making sure the crew are okay. We'll kind of worry about the huge tentacle thing later on the grounds that if it wanted us dead, we'd probably be dead already.
Yeah, Captain Harriman, you've gotten some damage reports, some initial reports from engineering, and they have told you that it seems like the impact on the planet that was maybe softened by the biological material of this giant creature. So the ship has not suffered a lot of structural damage, but the dilithium crystals are completely useless at this point. You're going to have to find replacements. And with that, we will jump to Dr. Ozol, who's also on the bridge at the moment.
Oh my goodness. Everything is just it's a bit crazy. So just trying to get back my footing because we did a rough landing, and then there's this thing on the bridge. I'm guessing my uniform got a bit scuffed. So it's like a bit dirty, all of this. There's smoke everywhere, and I'm just trying to get some other people up on their feet too.
Yeah, as you look around, it doesn't look like any of the bridge crew has suffered more than some bumps and bruises. And so there's no need for like emergency medicine or anything like that right now. But what is the plan, guys?
from the captain's point of view, the plan is, let's see what state the ship is in first. Let's make sure we've got damage control teams out repairing any damage, or at least assessing damage, making sure that we don't have any critical systems like life support out of action. We'll see if we can get the doctor to do a review of any potential injuries. I'm guessing we've at least had a few. And then I'll get on to to engineering and tell them I'm going to need an assessment on the structural integrity of the ship and the engines as soon as possible.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Tasai, who is the chief engineer, her voice is piped in from engineering, and she says, Captain, we are on backup battery reserves. The warp core, which is, of course, you know, to be the power plant of the ship, is inoperable, which means no weapons, no shields, no engines, no way to get off the planet until you're able to replace the dilithium crystals.
Do we have auxiliary power other than batteries?
Yes, there's some auxiliary power, which means you can like operate some sensors. There's emergency lighting and environmental controls, so you're not going to like suffocate or freeze to death anytime soon. But that power will of course run out, you know, over the span of maybe a couple of days.
Okay. So at the moment, it's just down to the dilithium crystals. Do we know what happened to them?
It looks like the engine overheated as this creature. It seems that this creature managed to pluck the starship out of the upper atmosphere of the planet and drag it down to the surface of the planet. And in so doing, it just overheated the engines.
Okay, that doesn't bode well for when we want to try and leave. Okay, let's see if we can get somebody on the bridge scanning to see if there's any dilithium nearby. Aside from that, do we seem to be at least reasonably intact?
Reasonably,
we're not
yeah.
going to suffer any sort of hull ruptures or anything like that anytime soon.
No.
Okay. Let's see if we can get the doctor doing an analysis of this creature then. I'd kind of like to know what we're dealing with here. And,
so you want me to go outside?
Sorry?
You want me to go outside and take a, what's the thing when they stick something to get a piece of flesh out?
A biopsy.
A biopsy, yeah. You want me to do a biopsy on it?
If you feel you need to, then yes, but I would probably
Let's see if the tricorders work first.
Well, we've got at least partial sensors working.
Okay. Yes.
So let's see what we can tell with that. I'd like to find out primarily, is the creature any sort of a threat to the ship at all? And what's its sort of general nature?
Okay.
But at some point, we're going to have to deal with it when we come to try and leave. So it's I kind of like to know what we're dealing with. And also, I'd like to get some of the bridge team working on the sensors as well to see if they can locate any dilithium.
Okay, I'll get that going. That's going to be what is it?
Give me an insight plus medicine roll, and it'll be difficulty 2, and it can be assisted by the ship, which it will be computers plus science.
I got a 3 and a 6, and I needed to beat a 15, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
So 2 successes.
Okay.
Let me roll for the ship.
Target number of 10 for the ship.
Oh, the ship got a 16, so I didn't do any.
Okay. So you got the successes you need as you are able to work the sensors and get some kind of scan of this creature. Just a reminder, I'm starting the session with 6 points of threat, 2 points for each of you. And so as you scan the immediate vicinity of the ship, looking particularly at this creature, it's a biological writhing mass of tentacles, and it seems to cover the majority of the planet's surface. Beyond that, it's hard to get much more of a reading just because it's so enormous.
Great. Well done.
How about, not that I'm thinking of doing this anytime soon, but how about the resistance of the creature's flesh to weapons like phasers?
Do you wish to try and anger the creature?
Like I say, I'm not looking at doing anything yet. I just you got to wait for the word, wait for the command.
Yeah.
Don't go firing the phasers.
I don't think, Captain, there's going to be people that are going to be wanting to volunteer to just shoot at it yet.
No, but I'm wondering if we're going to have to essentially cut our way through it in order to lift off.
So, Dr. Ozel, from your scans, you don't see any evidence of shielding or defensive systems or any kind of technology really at all associated with this creature. And so you think that you don't see any reason why the ship's phasers wouldn't harm it, but it's difficult to ascertain where like it's vital. You don't see any sign of like vital organs or anywhere that you could just kill it with a single shot or something like that.
Captain, perhaps we could cut away the tentacles that are holding us. I think I can target it just enough so that we could perhaps get free.
Well, let's not take a chance on angering it when we're not in a position to lift off. We've got to try and fix the warp engines first. But yeah, it's a possibility when it comes down to it. The other question I'm going to ask, Doctor, and this is probably going to be quite a loaded question: can we tell if this thing is sentient?
The initial sensor scans don't seem to. You've seen no indication that it is, but you've also really not seen any. It's clearly very alien and very unusual. So you've also not seen any indications that it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to some extent, I've got no qualms really about trying to cut our way through a non-sentient organism. But if it is sentient, and if it's an intelligent organism, then that kind of makes things a little bit different. So it's possibly a question we're going to need to answer at some point.
I guess I would also add, Dr. Ozel, as you scanned it, you do notice that there, on a genetic level, there are some very close similarities to those eel creatures that you saw coming in and out of wormholes earlier.
Distant cousins, perhaps. So maybe we can just try to cross-reference what we scan from those eel creatures and then do some checking through at that.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want
that to you, Doctor.
Dr. Ozel, give me another insight plus science roll, and this will be another difficulty 2 roll. But the ship's computer is not going to be able to help you because it doesn't contain any files like this.
Okay, good news is I got a 4 and 6, so 2 successes.
So you compare the genetic structure of this creature on the planet's surface with the eel-like creatures that you saw floating in space and in the wormholes. And the genetic structure is like identical. So close, in fact, that you think that this might be like a colony creature, that they're not even like separate organisms, that those eels might just be organs of the same organism that you are dealing with on the planet's surface.
Okay. So it's altogether, we're not on one creature, but multiple of them? Interesting.
Well, in a way, that actually
Doctor,
makes more sense than having a single creature cover an entire planet. But
I just don't understand, Doctor. What do you mean? Are you saying that? And then he scratches his head. He looks completely, utterly lost.
Okay, so that's where we stand with the creature. So where do we stand on scans for dilithium? Because if we don't got no dilithium, we're not going anywhere.
I think in our last session we may have scanned for dilithium.
It's possible. Sure, yeah, I won't make you roll for it anyway. So there's one stretch of this planet that appears to have been avoided by this colony creature, and it looks like it's some kind of artificial structure, and underneath, several layers down into the substrata of the planet, you are getting a dilithium signature.
And how far away is this structure?
On a different continent. You'd either have to transport there or fly a shuttlecraft there.
Okay. Let's go on to engineering then and see where we stand in terms of transporters.
I think it'd probably be safer to just use a shuttlecraft, to be honest, if we can actually get the shuttle bay open.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, but I'd still like to know how the transporters are doing. We may need them in an emergency to get out, even if we use the shuttle to get in.
Well, Captain, I am a little bit nervous that we're still being captive by this gigantic tentacle. We don't know whether if it's capable of crushing us into tiny little bits.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean, Commander. The problem is we have no way of getting out of it at the moment. We can't lift off. So, given that the ship is at least intact and staying so for the moment, the priority is to find that dilithium, repair the warp engines, and then try to get away. I don't want to start shooting at this thing, cutting tentacles off, because that may anger it even more.
But we're currently at its mercy, Captain, and I don't know. As far as the safety of the crew is concerned, as a security officer, I would like to advise that we ought to get out of its grip.
Yep, I would love to get out of here, but with the engines down, we can't. And in the meantime, if you find yourself next to a sleeping bear, the one thing you don't do is poke the bear.
Understood, Captain.
So, do we have transporters, and can we get the shuttle bay open?
Lieutenant Tasai, the chief engineer, reports that with some work, you might be able to squeeze a single transport or two out of the transporters, but that would require you to perhaps divert some power from sensors.
Okay, so the doctor was right. Let's keep the transporters in reserve. Let's make sure they're operational, but keep them for an emergency. Can we get the shuttle bay doors open?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone up for a road trip?
I volunteer, Captain.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to get out and try to get a better idea of our surroundings.
Okay. 3 of us then. We'll grab somebody from the science team and probably a couple of security guards as well. Sound good, Commander?
Yes, sir.
And Doctor, somebody along with yourself from the science team. Preferably somebody with experience of alien organisms.
Okay, I'll find someone with some experience with xenobiology.
So does that mean? Oh, we need one more person, because then there'll be 7 of us.
So you've got 4.
7 is significant in a shuttlecraft.
You can take 4 members of your supporting cast, a number equal to the ship's scale. So the 3 of you plus 4 more if you like.
Well, let's stick with that then. So we've got the 3 of us plus 2 security guards and one other member of the science team. Oh, actually, scratch that, Doc. You've got all the experience we need on the organism. on the medical side. Let's take somebody from engineering, because we may need somebody to disassemble something or recover some dilithium.
Understood.
Unless, of course, you feel you need to take somebody as well, in which case that would make 7, which
No,
would be our
fine.
maximum complement.
How many of our red shirts would you like to take?
I think 2. Yourself and 2 red shirts. The
Yes, sir.
doctor and anybody else that he wants to bring along, and probably our chief engineer as well.
So I've got the 3 main characters: Lieutenant Tasai, the engineer. We've got a Lieutenant Johnson, who's a security officer, and then who else? Paul.
So we'll take 2 security.
Okay. So we'll have to create another security officer because the other red shirt we ended up dying. Lieutenant Langdon.
We'll make Kazik, and he's a what are those blue guys with the little tentacles on top of their head? Andorian. Yeah.
Andorians.
Yep.
Kazik, you said?
Kazik.
Kazik. Okay. And then so I've got Tasai the engineer, Johnson and Kazik, who are security, and then there's one more if you want.
Doc, do you want to bring anybody along?
Aside from the engineer you suggested, that's it.
Okay, so just the 6 of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Cool.
go.
Who is going to fly the shuttlecraft?
I can I can probably do that. I mean, I've got helm operations as a focus, but I don't have anything like small craft or shuttle operations. But I've got Con 3, so I suppose in a pinch.
You got control of 10 and Con 3.
I would say probably either myself or Commander Hando can do it.
Well, one of you can pilot, and one can be the co-pilot.
Commander, you want to take the pilot seat?
Yes, Captain. And he sits.
All right, so
Down.
So the 6 of you pile into the shuttlecraft, and Commander Han, if you would please give me a control plus con roll with difficulty 2, please. And let me find a shuttlecraft statistics, and someone can go for the ship.
Okay. I roll 2d20, right?
Yep.
We got 4 and 15. So 1 success.
Okay. Page 233. Okay, we'll say engines plus con. Okay, someone else can roll a single D1 or D20, and you got a target number of 6 to get the second success that you need.
Okay, I'll do that as the co-pilot. No.
Okay, so you will get a success, but with a complication, as Commander Han pilots the shuttle out of the shuttle bay, and immediately one of these writhing, slimy tentacles slams into the shuttlecraft just as it's starting to pull up. And the shuttle takes, let's see if it's got a resistance. So it takes 3 points of damage to its shields, dropping your shields from 4 to 1 as the shuttlecraft bumps from the contact with this tentacle. But Commander Han is able to steady the ship, and will remember that it's down to 1 last shield. And you're able to pilot the shuttle to this dilithium signature on a different continent on the planet. And as you approach, you notice that this creature, this colony creature, seems to be avoiding this structure, whatever it is. It looks like the structure at one time was domed, but the dome has crumbled and collapsed inward. But it's a large artificial structure, but it appears to be old and abandoned and in a state of disrepair.
It looks to be quite out of place, Captain.
The tentacles for this thing are kind of all around, but not around this structure.
Yes.
Can we see a landing spot either nearby or even on the structure?
On the structure, within the dome, there's plenty of room. Like maybe even the remnants of like a landing bay.
Okay. That looks like somewhere to touch down there, Commander.
Yes, Captain.
And don't forget, you break it, you board it.
Oh, brother. Yeah, and he tries to land it in the middle of it.
Yep, I won't make you roll for it since you already did your piloting roll. And the shuttlecraft is able to land without any further incident inside this abandoned structure.
Yeah, you see Honda wiping sweat off his forehead.
Presumably we have an atmosphere out there? I guess I should probably have asked that before we left the ship.
No, yeah, this planet has a breathable atmosphere and pretty moderate climate. It actually looks like there was, a wide variety of climate types and temperatures, precipitation. It's actually this planet would likely be very hospitable to life if it weren't covered in whatever this colony creature is.
Oh, you noticed that? So I'm wondering, that means this creature probably isn't native to here. This is probably some sort of infestation.
Odds are it probably is, especially if this thing is a distant cousin to those eels we met before. And over time, it had to adapt to here.
Yep, could be. Okay.
You know, Doctor, they say that eels are aphrodisiacs. It's really tasty on sushi plates.
Are you suggesting that there's something much more bigger than the eel creature we are on?
He just shrugs.
Well, when we manage to get out of here, we can always come back, because I think you've got enough eel here for a whole chain of sushi restaurants. Okay, people, let's head on out. Grab some tricorders, phaser 2s, and start exploring this structure. See if we can get a reading on the tricorders for the dilithium.
Phasers are stun, Captain?
Sorry?
Should we set the phasers on stun, Captain?
For the moment, yes. I think so.
Yeah, he nods at Johnson and Kazik. Stun.
And let's face it, even if they were set on kill, they probably wouldn't be very effective against this creature. But anything that's in the structure, I don't think we necessarily want to kill them just yet.
I'm ready, Captain.
Okay, let's head on out. Can we see anything that looks like an entrance of any kind?
Yes. As you go outside, you can see that there's a large central structure with several entrances, and there's windows and doors, most of which have been broken and are decayed and decrepit. And so it looks like the structure has been exposed to the elements for some time, but it'll be easy for you to get inside if you want to.
Okay, let's just head for the nearest way in and see if we can pick up any dilithium readings as we go.
Yeah, if anyone wants to get out a tricorder and give me an insight plus either science or engineering roll with difficulty 1, anyone can try it with a tricorder.
Cool. I'll do it. Insight plus engineering, that makes it a... Ooh, it's 11. I only got a 16 and 14, so no success.
Okay.
Something's
Anyone
off
else?
with the tricorder.
Can we all try it?
Yep, anyone with a tricorder can try.
What was it again?
Insight plus either science or engineering, and it's difficulty 1.
Insight, science, or engineering? I'll go for the engineering. Oh, I missed as well.
About Commander Han, you want to give it a shot?
There we go. What's the target?
So add your insight plus either your science or engineering will be your target number. Then roll 2d20s.
12. Let's see. Ooh, I roll 9, which is 1 success, and 20, which is critical failure.
Okay. So, Commander Han, you deduce that there is definitely a dilithium signature coming from beneath this central structure, several stories down. Does anyone have a good idea for a complication? Or should I just take threat?
What if some sort of defenses that were once dormant are now active? Responded to the tricorder.
I like that idea, yes. There's some kind of feedback that you notice, Commander Han, as your scans work for several seconds, and you definitely read a dilithium signature coming from beneath the surface of the planet. But then you get some kind of jamming, and all of a sudden, I'm going to introduce a new trait to the scene. There's some kind of electronic jamming, which will make your communicators and tricorders useless until you find a way to overcome it.
Captain, Doctor, I'm getting some gibberish reading on my tricorder. I did confirm that the dilithium signature was coming from underneath.
Okay, but you're saying that we've lost communicators?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And
let's see if we can...
and the signal on my camcorder is no longer there.
Do you think you could navigate us to where the signal was?
I believe so. I could definitely try, Captain.
Okay, let's head on in then and try and stay within sight of each other.
Yes, sir.
So we're like sort of school kids, like, you know, first graders heading off to school, all holding hands.
Yeah, so because if we don't do that, we die.
Yeah, exactly.
Hondo, Johnson, and Kazig, they're like the red shirt wall. They form the vanguard.
Well, I'm guessing we've got one of the red shirts as Point and one of the red shirts as Tail End Charlie.
So
that's up to you, Commander.
As you say, Captain.
So I like Paul's metaphor as a group of school kids entering this building. but maybe not showing up to school so much as like going on a field trip, because when you go inside, you see that there's the remnants of all kinds of desks and computer monitors that litter the open design of the interior. And suddenly, an automated voice in an alien language, which you can filter through the Universal Translator, says, "Welcome to McCreck Bio Preserve, the most wondrous collection of exotic life forms from throughout the galaxy. Make sure you check in at the turbo lift at least 5 minutes before the time listed on your ticket." It's almost like you're on a field trip.
Uh-oh. I don't like the fact that it's advertising bioforms. That kind of implies there's going to be an awful lot more things around here.
It sounds like it's some sort of a zoo, Captain.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. Okay, Commander, you want to take point and see if you can navigate us to the dilithium?
Yes, Captain. Mr. Johnson, Kazik, follow me. And he takes the point and starts walking into this structure.
So, Commander Han, you know from your previous tricorder scan before tricorders went down that the dilithium readings are coming from below. And you, as you step into this visitor center, for lack of a better term, you see that there's a large bank of lifts in kind of the central part of this structure, and you think that going straight down from those lifts is probably going to get you pretty close to the dilithium signatures that you picked up.
He takes a look and sees whether if it's safe to get down on the turbo lift.
As you approach the turbo lifts, they seem to open automatically, and inside they look a little dusty, but structurally sound as far as you can tell.
Yeah, he turns back to the captain. Captain, it looks safe. Mr. Johnson, you want to test out the integrity of this turbo lift?
Yeah, so Johnson steps inside, and he definitely looks a little nervous, but nothing bad seems to happen.
Oh, excellent.
Sorry, it just occurred to me that red shirts are kind of like the hobbits of Star Trek. Do you want to see how deep this pit is?
Yes, except they are going to complain about the fact that they did not have a fifth lunch.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And Hondo steps into the turbo lift.
Yeah, Johnson can breathe again now.
Dr. Ozil, Captain, it seems sturdy enough.
Okay, well, we don't have an awful lot of choice, so let's go.
So the landing party steps onto this lift, and it shuts and lowers down a level, and it opens back up into kind of I don't know what you call it, maybe like a foyer, and you can go to there's a large hallway to the west and a large hallway leading to the east.
From what he could remember, which way do you think, was the signature coming from? Could I like roll for? Yeah.
Yes, you can. Give me an insight. We'll say it's like security, because you're trying to remember distances and sort of the tactical situation that you're in. So give me insight plus security, and we'll say difficulty 1.
Ooh, excellent. I got 5 and 8, 2 successes.
Okay, so you generate a point of momentum, and you are almost positive that just from the the speed that you felt the lift move and how long you were in there, that the lift did not take you down far enough, that the dilithium is still below you.
I think we have a few more floors to go, Captain. And he punches in, he operates it so that it goes down further.
Nothing happens. It stays on the same level.
How far down do we think we've come?
Like a floor, one level.
Okay. At least it's not too far. Sorry, go on.
I'm just saying, let's keep going.
Well, it
Yes,
seems like
Doctor.
we've got to find another way down. So I guess any direction is as good as any other direction. Commander, you want to roll the dice on this one?
Yes, sir. I'll take the point. And Hondo steps up, taking the point, and he has, both of his fellows, V formation, and they start walking down the path.
So you can go left or right, but you have no real indication of what awaits you in either direction. So you pick.
He takes left.
Okay. So you step into kind of like a circular corridor, and the door irises open, and immediately you are met by a sense of humidity that you did not feel up above. And you step into almost like an enormous warehouse room, but it's full of plant life, much of which you've never really even experienced before. A lot of it is like bioluminescent. There are huge tanks of water where it seems like they're plants growing in sort of aquatic environments. Plant life that you don't think could have possibly originated just here on this one planet. It's just too wondrously diverse.
Seems like some sort of an arboretum, Captain. It's a greenhouse of some sort, maybe.
It certainly doesn't look like most of the stuff around here is natural growth. So let's be on the alert. We don't really know what we're going to encounter down here.
Yes, sir. Perhaps we may run into the collector of these strange specimen. And Hondo whips out his phaser and continues on his path.
Eventually, you guys run into small robotic drones that appear to be taking care of all these plants, measuring pH levels and humidity levels and things like that. They're like little rovers that are just covered in a suite of sensors, gathering data and maintaining the plant life throughout this enormous room.
Captain, Doctor, they don't look to be security drones.
Interesting. What do you suggest, Commander?
I suggest we move along. They seem to be just taking care of these plants.
Yeah, I think anything we encounter, as long as it's not hostile to us or potentially hostile, then let's give it a wide berth. We really need to be focused on getting that dilithium.
So the landing party spends several minutes going through the plant life room, and it appears that you have not found any other way downward. And it looks like maybe going back the way you came might be your only option.
Okay, so we're backtracking to the turbo lift again.
Yes, and beyond the turbo lift in the other direction is the other part that you have not yet explored.
Okay, let's head that way.
So as you head past the original bank of turbo lifts, you emerge into another circular corridor, and a door irises open, and immediately on the other side you see cages, the pens, and one of the pens kind of whirs open of its own accord, and out step several large creatures that resemble almost like bears.
Okay, Commander, I think this is your game.
Yes, sir. He stuns it, or tries to, with the phaser.
Yeah, you bet. Give me a control plus security roll, and it'll be difficulty 2.
I got 1 success.
Okay, so your phaser, as you fire at this bear, it ducks underneath your beam and charges towards you. Now, if you like, one of you can take the initiative by either you've got 1 point of momentum, so you'd have to spend that and pay me 1 threat, or this large bear will act.
I'll let the bear act.
Okay, it bares its teeth and charges at Commander Han, and so I'm going to spend a couple points of threat. Commander Han, I need you to give me a daring plus security roll, and you have 1 point of momentum if you'd like to use that to get an extra die.
How many successes do I need?
I will tell you momentarily. 3.
I'll spend 1 momentum.
Okay.
Okay. 2 successes, but the other one that failed, it's a critical failure.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah. So, as this bear, I better bring up its stats, comes charging toward you, it sinks its teeth into your shoulder.
And Hondo goes, ah!
Whoa, okay. So, so it does 8 stress damage to you, Yang.
Ouch.
That will deal an injury to you unless you pay me 2 threat to avoid the injury.
I'll take the injury.
Okay. So this bear sinks its teeth into you, and immediately, blood starts running down, soaking through your uniform. There's big tears in it, and you fall to the metal floor in this room. Captain Harriman and Dr. Ozel, you are looking on with horror as this scene is taken, just a few moments. This bear has acted with shocking speed and viciousness. But one of you two can act now if you like.
Well, if I'm going to act, I'm going to shoot the thing. What are you trying to do, Doc?
I think we need to help him, so I'm with you on that.
Okay, I'll shoot the thing.
Okay, it will be control plus security, difficulty 2. You don't have any momentum at your disposal right now, but you could pay me threat for extra dice if you like.
Yeah, I'm not going to take a chance on that at the moment. So where are we? Control security 14. 1 success.
Okay, that's not going to be enough. Because once again, this bear is moving with lightning speed.
Do the 2 remaining security personnel, do they react and fire?
I'll let Dr. Ozel act first if he likes.
Okay, sure. I'll go ahead, aim and fire.
Okay.
Which means I get to re-roll 1 dice if it misses. Okay, I got 1 success and a 12, and 12 is either it's control and security, right? Oh, I am 1 off. Time to re-roll. I am right on the nose, so I do hit.
Okay, roll your damage.
Cool.
As you pull out your phaser and send a beam of energy into the flank of this bear.
Okay, I got 2 6s. 1, a 6. So come on. A 1. So does it already come with a 1 when I get a 5 and 6, or is it just a pure effect?
So you used your minor action to aim the shot, so I don't think you can activate the charge quality. So I think those are just 1s.
Okay. So I guess I do 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. So that's enough. So the bear kind of rears back on its hind legs for a moment and roars and then falls down, stunned.
Okay, good.
There were more of these things, weren't there?
This was an
Sorry,
exhibit.
guys. I just dropped out for a second. What did you guys say?
There are more of these bears, yeah?
They are. That was the only one that came out of the cage. The other ones, you can see them around you, but they're still encaged.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get the commander up again. How's he looking there, Doc?
Well, let me just check. He's no worse for wear, right?
He's bleeding and injured. You will need a daring plus medicine roll, difficulty 1, to get him back to consciousness.
Oh, time to get that going. Okay, good news is I got a 2 and it's 9. So that does succeed. And let's see. Emergency medicine applied, so that is 3 successes, I think.
Okay, so you only need 1. You generate 2 points of momentum as you rush to Commander Han's side and stop the bleeding and stabilize him. And he is, for the moment, back to consciousness.
Oh, doctor. I think with your help, I could bear the pain.
Oh, you must be all right if you're making puns like that.
He smiles at you.
I didn't get that at first.
Now you got it.
Now I get it. So Lieutenant Tasai, your Vulcan engineer who's part of the landing party, she says, your pun would be accurate, except I believe that is a sealat, an animal native to Vulcan.
Really?
Vulcans. It looks like a bear to me.
Yeah, but as I understand it, they're slightly worse than Earth bears. But I'm more curious about what it's doing here. That means that whoever created this place must have been at least as far as Vulcan.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Captain.
Well, the other good thing about this is that we are not halfway across somewhere else in the galaxy. We are somewhere where Vulcan is within warp range.
That's always assuming we're even in the same universe. We could be in a totally different dimension, having gone through a wormhole. But then...
Sir? Could it be that this collector has been using this hub to collect different species and creatures from all over the place? We were sucked into the wormhole that just appeared out of nowhere. So perhaps this is some sort of a device, or I'm making speculation, sir.
Whoever created this place must have had some means of pulling these creatures from, I would guess, pretty much anywhere. I mean, I've no idea where we are at the moment. We could be literally right next to Vulcan. We could be across the other side of the galaxy. We just don't know.
Maybe this is a control center to operate these wormholes.
Could be, and that's actually a good sign because it means that if it's potentially powered by antimatter, then that's where the dilithium crystals come in. Speaking of which, I think the sooner we try and find those crystals, the sooner we can get the commander back to a proper sickbay.
Mr. Kazik, could you navigate from now on? I'll follow you.
As you guys gather your bearings and start to get back up, a voice, sort of a strange, inhuman voice, is piped in through some kind of speakers in your vicinity. And it says, "State your intentions, please. I already have so much to worry about, you understand."
We are travelers from a planet called Earth. We belong to a group of worlds called the Federation. We're here as explorers, but our ship has unfortunately crashed and we need assistance to leave. Who are you, and are you able to help us?
I am Helix. I may be able to help you, but only if you can help me.
Okay. What is it you need?
You hear the door to the turbo lift that you originally came down in. It swishes open.
Is that an invitation?
I think so, Captain. Mr. Kazik, please. The motions to Kazik so that he takes the point.
You're not going to get Johnson to try out the turbo lift again.
It's Kazik's turn. And Hando looks at his own shirt. It's definitely red.
Now, Johnson did such a good job of it last time. Okay.
Also, Commander Han, your shirt is torn to shreds.
Yeah. He's like, shirtless, Kirk or something.
I was going to say, is it torn sort of Kirk style?
Absolutely.
Just kind of
very much so.
Just exposing just enough to make him look manly.
Nice.
Okay, well, I guess if there's an invitation, it's up to us to accept.
For some reason, guys, I'm imagining Groundskeeper Willie from Simpsons.
Damn Vulcans, they ruined Vulcan.
I'm sorry, the last thing we need is an alien controlling this place with a Scottish accent.
Yeah, you get in the turbo lift.
It brings you down another level, and as it opens up, you're in a similar sort of intersection like you were in the level above. You can go left or right, but to your right is where another door irises open automatically.
Okay, let's head that way, but everybody stay alert.
Yes, Captain.
So the landing party enters into a large room bristling with computer equipment, and there's lights flashing on and off of various colors, a lot of advanced looking engineering and computer equipment in here. And that is where you hear that voice once again. It's neither male nor female, strangely alien, but it sounds irritable, annoyed. And it says, yes, hello, I am Helix.
Okay, Helix, I'm Captain Robert Harriman. These are crew members from my ship, Commander Hando, Dr. Azil, crewmen's Kazik and Johnson, and Lieutenant Tasai. How can we help?
Well, you understand, I have no body. You are currently in the artificial intelligence laboratory of this biopreserve. This entire facility was created by a civilization known as the Macrec, and they wanted to collect as many different forms of life as they possibly could, from the biological to the artificial. And I have been here for time immemorial, and I would like to have a body to be able to move around in.
So what exactly are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting, Captain, across the hallway, there is another wing of this facility devoted entirely to robotics. That facility contains several robotic bodies that would be large enough, would be able to accommodate my large amount of programming, and would give me the physical capabilities that I long for to continue to run this facility. However, it is patrolled by another robot, a personnel suppressor robot that has kept me from carrying out my aims.
Why would it bar him from accessing that place?
The personnel suppressor has not allowed me to do so.
Yes, but the personal suppressor must be a security drone, right, Captain? So perhaps this artificial intelligence is an intruder. That's my
The
assessment.
commander poses a good question. Why would this personnel suppressor robot want to stop you if you're both part of the same facility?
Neither of us are native to this facility. The personnel suppressor is programmed to stop any kind of intrusion.
But you say it's not from this facility, it's not native to this facility. Why would it try and stop any kind of intrusion if it's not native to the facility?
It was brought here by the McCrack, but their civilization crumbled long ago. I am also not native to this facility. I was born on some distant planet, really just not more than a couple of algorithms.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Fred.
Captain, I think the artificial intelligence is having some glitch.
Yep, I think the artificial intelligence hacked Fred.
What do you suggest we do, Captain? Should we help the artificial intelligence?
Oh,
sorry, guys, I dropped out there a second. Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Helix, we need help as well. We need a substance called dilithium. We can give you the molecular makeup of it if you need it, but we need a certain amount of dilithium in order to repair our ship and leave this place. Do you know if you have that dilithium?
Oh, yes. This facility is equipped with a reserve of dilithium, and I would be only too happy to grant you access to it if you were to retrieve the robotic body that I need.
What's your assessment, Doctor?
To be honest, why shouldn't we help a AI sentient? And it is part of our prime directives to go and help civilizations that are capable of spaceflight and all this. And yeah, why wouldn't we want to help, Commander?
Because at the moment we don't know that it's going to help us. I tell you what, Helix, if you're prepared to give us the quantity of dilithium we need and give it to us now, my chief engineer here will take it back to the ship so that they can start work on the repairs. The rest of us will stay here and help you get to that robot body.
Give me a presence plus command roll, Captain Harriman.
Presence plus command. Oh, I was looking at the stats then, thinking, boy, these stats are really lousy for a captain. I was looking at Lieutenant Desai. Okay. 15.
And we'll say this is a difficulty 2 roll, and you have 2 points of momentum at your disposal.
I didn't use the momentum, but I did get 3 successes.
Okay, well, Well done. So you generate another point of momentum.
Cool.
And Paul, what is it that Captain Harriman does that convinces this artificial intelligence that you're sincere in your offer?
The key that I was thinking of was we're not all going to leave. I want the dilithium up front, but we're not all going to leave and take it back to the ship. Only one person needs to take it back, the chief engineer, and we can use the transporters for that potentially.
Okay, yeah,
leaving us the shuttlecraft.
Yeah, I like that. So Helix responds, your terms are acceptable. If, however, you do not retrieve the robotic body that I desire, I will release all of the Sealets from their pens, and they will almost certainly devour all of you who remain.
Well,
Okay.
I don't suppose we have an awful lot of choice if we want the dilithium, but please be aware, Helix, we do not respond well to threats. We're happy to help, but we would please ask that you don't threaten us.
I would not think of it as a threat. I would prefer to think of it as leverage.
Oh. We'll see. So, dilithium first. My engineer will take it back to the ship, and then we will help with the robotic body.
So, yeah, there's some lights inside the artificial intelligence laboratory that you hadn't seen before light up, and that illuminates a corner of the room that has a lift leading downward. And Helix says you'll find the power core. That lift will take you down to the power core, where you will find the dilithium reserves.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can contact the ship first.
There is still the jamming. You can attempt a task to maybe cut through it if you like.
Helix, it seems that our communications are not working correctly at the moment due to some sort of interference. Is that coming from you?
Yes, when I first detected your tricorder scans, I decided to jam you because I was not sure what your intentions were.
Well, now you know. So, could you please remove the jamming signal and allow us to contact our ship?
I will allow you to contact your ship, though I will be monitoring all transmissions. You understand?
Absolutely, we're hiding nothing, but it's imperative that we're able to contact our ship in order for our engineer to take the dilithium back there.
You may do so.
All right, I'll get onto the ship and just double check to make sure they can get a transporter lock on us.
Yes, they report that they still can, though they probably don't have enough juice for more than 1 or 2 transports.
Okay. All right, let's go get the dilithium, guys.
Yes, Captain. Well, you heard the captain, guys. And Hondo takes the point once more.
As we get in this turbo lift going down, I'll inspect the commander's shoulder wound and lean sort of very, very close to him and just whisper, I don't trust this thing. Stay alert. Be ready to act at any time.
He just nods quickly.
So the handful of you that go down the lift, it activates completely autonomously. You don't press any buttons or any levers or anything like that. It seems to be completely under the control of Helix, and it lowers you down into an engine core, and it looks like it hasn't been touched for generations, but it still is powered up. There's like a large power reactor down there, and it's almost like a closet or something. There's like a containment facility where there's a supply of dilithium crystals that are used as reserves.
Well, I'll have to say that this facility is very well crafted, very functional after all these years.
Yeah.
Helix says, "Thank you. I was able to reprogram several of the drone robots to perform engineering tasks as well."
Hondo jumps and says, I didn't know that you were eavesdropping.
I monitor everything throughout this facility.
Yeah, I thought you might. Okay, Lieutenant Tsai, you're up. Let's scan the dilithium, make sure it's what we need, and figure out how much we want, and then we'll see if we can get you back to the ship.
Yep, I won't make any rolls for that. The artificial intelligence doesn't seem to oppose, and Tasai is able to extract the dilithium that the Venture needs.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that these sort of protocols exist, but is there a sort of Starfleet protocol that I can sort of give to Tasai without Helix realizing what it means, that basically says get the ship working, and if we're not back there within a certain amount of time, then come get us?
Yeah, you can be like, with main power down, minutes could seem like days, and then tell her how long she ought to wait.
Yeah, it was more along the lines of sort of, Lieutenant, when you get back to the ship, get the engines back up and running, and then implement Order 44 within 2 hours.
Yep, you bet.
Or I guess it's a little bit like Serenity, you know. If we're not back in contact with the ship in 2 hours' time, yeah, ditch everything and come and rescue us.
She nods knowingly. Aye, Captain.
Okay, let's see if we can get her transported back to the ship then.
Yes, I will make you. Actually, I will make a roll for it. Someone, give me. I'll just come up with a generic engineering character back on the Venture who's operating the transporter.
You want to do this, Miguel? You've been having more luck than most of us this evening.
Okay, sure. What do I need to roll?
Just 1 second here. Starfleet engineer. So this would be control plus con. So your target number is 11. It's going to be a difficulty. I'm going to spend some threat and make it a difficulty 3 roll. And the ship can assist.
Okay.
With. And you've got 3 points of momentum at your disposal if you like.
Okay.
And
I'm going to spend to get 2 extra dice, so all 3.
Okay.
Yeah, burn that momentum. We need to make sure that the engineer gets back with the dilithium.
Yes. So 8 and okay. You had it 11 overall, right?
Yes.
Cool.
And the ship can roll computers plus con, which is a target number of 9.
Okay. I got 2 successes. Let's roll for the ship.
Okay, got to get a 9 or less for the ship.
Nope. 1 away.
Okay. Excellent. So the you hear the whine of the transporter, and the effect washes over to Sai, and she vanishes. And then a moment later, you hear on Captain Harriman on your communicator, the lieutenant who is manning the transporter says, "Sir, we got Lieutenant Tasai back with the dilithium, but the reserve power has completely failed, and we are not going to be able to make any more transports until we get the dilithium installed."
I figured that might be the case. Okay.
So for the moment, you're on your own, sir.
Yeah, we'll need to make sure we can get back to the shuttle then, eventually. But of course, for the moment, we have to help out Helix.
Yeah.
Well, deal's a deal, sir.
I'll over the communicator, I'll just say, well, the lieutenant has her orders, don't you, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir, I do, Sasai says.
We'll just have to hope that she can get the main power up and running and get the transporters back online, because we might actually need them.
Not too loud, Captain.
Okay, Helix. What's the deal then? What have we got to do?
So in the next wing of the facility, it's a robotics laboratory, and there are many different models from all over the galaxy that have been gathered by the McCrec. There are several models in the database that I think would be suitable to allow me to have a physical presence. If you simply retrieve one of those and bring it back to the artificial intelligence laboratory, I can take it from there. The problem is there is this personnel suppressor robot that routinely patrols the robotics laboratory. And my guess is the personnel suppressor will not take kindly to your intrusion.
Okay. Commander, this is your specialty.
Phasers on kill.
I think so.
Yes, sir. Well, you heard the captain. Johnson, Mr. Kazik. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, Mr. Kazik.
He just asked that he doesn't die.
All right. So the security personnel, you guys leave the artificial intelligence laboratory and cross that hallway into the opposite wing of this level of the facility. And like the rest of this facility, it's kind of dim and decrepit, but Helix allows for the door to iris open, and you're able to step into this kind of large warehouse of robotics equipment. And it's dimly lit, hard to see much, but there's kind of debris and mechanical equipment scattered all over the place.
Hondo whips out his tricorder and scans for the sign of movements.
You, for the moment, don't detect any movement.
Mr. Johnson, go ahead and enter the area.
That's it. Send the Hobbit in first.
I ain't been dropping no leaves, he says. But as Lieutenant Johnson starts walking further into the robotics laboratory, all of a sudden, bright spotlights kind of snap on and shine right on top of him. And suddenly, sort of looming over him, there's this large, at least like maybe 15 feet tall, mechanical, roughly humanoid, but more like a bipedal walking tank looming over him, with kind of on one of its arms is this long metallic barrel that is now leveled at Lieutenant Johnson.
I think it's a warning. Johnson, get down.
And Johnson is just like stunned and standing in the middle of these harsh, bright spotlights with this large, almost like Metal Gear looking robot looming over him. If any of you would like to act first, you can.
Hondo's gonna rush over and then get Johnson out of the way, and I'm gonna see whether if I can do that and shoot it at the same time.
Yeah, I would absolutely allow that. So you rush over and shove Lieutenant Johnson out of the way and level your phaser, and you can fire if you like. This will be a difficulty 2 security control plus security roll, and
Sure.
Do not have any momentum, but you could pay me threat if you like.
I'll pay you threat. 3 rolls. 4 and 5, and 4. So 3 successes.
Yeah, so you generate a point of momentum, and you can roll damage as you fire your phaser directly. I mean, this is a giant robot. You fire directly into the metallic bulk of this thing looming over you.
Okay. So I'm looking for 5s and 1s and 2s, right?
Yeah, 1s, 2s, 5s, and 6s.
Okay. I got 4 5s and 1 1. So I believe that's 5 damage.
Okay, so you blast this thing square in its chest, and you're now within close range of it. Unfortunately, you don't see any indication that your phaser shot had any effect on this thing.
He yells, Captain, the phaser's not working, sir.
Okay, everybody take cover. That's a good way to start.
Okay.
I do have an idea, Commander, but it's a bit off the wall.
Yeah, Hondo tries to dive out of the way and looks for cover.
Yeah, so you start to lunge, but you and Lieutenant Johnson are still within close range of the robot. If another one of your allies wants to act, you can spend your point of momentum and pay me a point of threat to retain the initiative. Otherwise, the robot is going to act.
I think we need to do that just to get the Commander and Johnson out of the way. So I'll open fire. I'll pay the momentum and the threat and open fire.
Okay.
See if I can distract it while the Commander and Johnson get out of the way.
Yeah, go ahead and we'll say you're at medium range right now.
So what, daring and security?
Control plus security for a ranged attack.
Okay.
With difficulty 2.
It's actually the same either way, but whatever. Two successes.
Okay, roll damage.
So 1 hit. 7. Okay, so I've got a 5, a 6, a 4, a 3, another 5, a 1, and a 6. So that's 5 damage.
Okay.
And 2 effects, I believe.
So once again, just as with Commander Han, it doesn't appear that your phasers are able to pierce the thick metallic plating that is covering this personnel suppression robot. I would also just to remind everybody, if you're not moving, if you don't take a minor action, you can use the aim minor action, which allows you to re-roll one of your dice. And your phasers also have the charge ability, which allows you. You can also use your minor action to give it the spread quality, which could potentially hit multiple targets, and, or you can give it the piercing quality or something like that. Just FYI.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking this is kind of a snapshot as I'm rushing to take cover as well. I'm just aiming to distract it more than anything else.
Yep. And so when you hit it, the spotlights that are kind of mounted on its shoulders kind of shift up and start searching through the debris that's scattered throughout the room, looking for the person that just fired that shot. And it will act. It levels its that large barrel in your direction, Paul, and it's going to take a shot, even though it's might not be totally sure where you are.
So I'm assuming I managed to make it into some kind of cover?
Yes. So we'll give you 2 points of resistance to the shot.
Cool.
Okay, so it's got... All right, here we go. So it gets its 2 successes as it launches a bright orb of energy that crackles in your direction, Paul. And it explodes in your vicinity. We'll see how much damage it does. As shrapnel kind of sprays throughout your immediate vicinity. So it does 6 points of damage, but we subtract 2 because you found cover, so it does 4 points of stress damage to you.
Okay, I guess I'm taking those then.
Okay. And the initiative shifts back to you guys. Any one of you, well, I guess Commander Han and Captain Harriman have acted. Dr. Ozol and the rest of your security detail, any of you could act.
Could Hondo say something?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, he tells Mr. Johnson, Kazik, aim at the searchlights. He yells.
Aim at what?
Searchlights.
That sounds like a job for them. So let's see them roll. They'll do a sort of thing to cold shots. Are a thing in the system?
Not really, but we'll say that if you want to do a called shot, it'll just add 1 point of difficulty to the roll. So if you want to hit the spotlight, it'll be a difficulty 3 roll rather than difficulty 2.
Okay.
So, Dr. Ozol, do you want to act, or do you want one of the security guys to act first?
Let these security officers act first.
Okay. How about Johnson, who's like within close range of this thing?
Come on, Johnson.
Do you guys want him to move out of the way, or stay within close range?
He's a red shirt, so stay in range.
Okay. So he's got a control plus security of 12. So it'll be difficult. If you want him to hit a spotlight, it's difficulty 3 with a target number of 12.
Hey, Commander, be careful not to break my good record with the red shirts.
Hondo's going to shout at him, Johnson, move out of the way. Take cover. Don't be an idiot.
Circle strafe.
So one of you guys can make the roll for him.
Okay, I'm going to give you a threat so that it gets 3 dice.
Okay.
And time to see if I can get under a 12.
I think the doctor's actually suggesting we use doom tactics here.
Yeah. Okay, only 1 success.
Okay, so he's like strafing, trying to find cover. We'll say he moves out to medium range, and he's kind of firing over his shoulder as he retreats and misses the robot. So we've had Harriman, Johnson. So we've got Kazik and Dr. Ozol are yet to act this round.
Okay, who wants to roll for Kazik?
Hey, Commander, our phasers aren't getting through, but I'm just wondering if a phaser on overload might.
I think it may, Captain.
What sort of blast radius are we looking at?
So I would say that if you want to put your phaser on overload, that would give it the grenade property, which means anything within reach will automatically take the damage, and there's a chance for each effect rolled, anyone within close range also would take damage as well.
Okay, we'll call that Plan B.
Yeah, I'll roll for, was it Kazik this time?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And what's Kazik trying to do?
Shoot at the searchlights.
Okay, so that will be difficulty 3, control plus security.
Okay. Roll 6 and 8. I'll spend a, what's it called? A threat. We don't have any momentum, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pay a threat, and here we go. 1. Yes. So 3 successes.
Okay.
Last one with a roll of natural 1.
All right. Roll damage for me, please. Oh, the Kazik will have for his phaser. He rolls 5 challenge dice, 5d6s.
Ooh, I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 5s.
4 5s. Okay, so that's 4 points of damage. So, yeah, one of the searchlights blows up off the shoulder of this bipedal tank, and half the room is shrouded in shadow. But it's uncertain how much effect that has for the the functioning of this robot, and that leaves Dr. Ozil as the only person who has not acted this round.
Okay, I want to actually create a condition. Can I use the tricorders to try to create a condition on it, or it's going to have a sort of problem focusing?
You can try to hack this robot if you like,
Okay.
using your tricorder.
Yes. Okay. Hack the Gibson. What will that be?
So this will be an extended task, and the base difficulty is going to be base difficulty of 3 with a work track of 8 and a magnitude of 3. So base difficulty 3, it's going to be either daring plus science or daring plus engineering. And once you roll, if you roll a success, and we see how successful you are, and you'll need 3 breakthroughs to completely take control of this robot.
Okay. I'm going to spend a determination point to get a natural 1 die, and then I'm going to roll these 2. I'm doing daring plus science, and I need to get under a 14. Good. I got another natural 1 and a 14.
So is that 5 successes total?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get 2 points of momentum as you kind of duck for cover and start using your tricorder to try and hack into the programming of this robot. So now I need you to the discipline that you just used, was it science?
Yes.
Okay, so that plus 2, and roll that number of challenge dice.
Okay.
And you got 2 points of momentum, which you could spend to get more challenge dice if you wanted to.
Okay. Yes. 1 second. 5, 1. 1, 2. Okay, cool. And I'll just spend 1 to get 1 more, and 6. So I have 2 from 5 and 6, 1, so that's 3, and then a 2, so that's 5.
5.
And then the effects, I think one of them is actually I can just move further on the track.
Okay, yeah.
So 1 away from a breakthrough, if I'm recalling correctly.
So with you got your 5, so that's a breakthrough there. And then we cancel out some of the work track, which brings the work track to 3. So you got 1 breakthrough. If you reduce the work track to 0, that's another breakthrough. And anytime you get 5 or more off the work track, that's a breakthrough. So you got 1 of your breakthroughs.
Okay, cool.
You're close to a second one. That is the first round of combat. Any one of you can now act.
You wish for me to try to continue hacking?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
We'll continue to distract it, I think.
Okay. DC got lowered because I got a success, right?
Yeah, this time, Miguel, it'll be a difficulty 2 task rather than difficulty 3.
I'm purchasing an additional die, so I'll be rolling 3. Okay. And 6. I got my 2. Now to see if I get any extra. Nope. I had to roll 5. Okay, cool. That's what I got. I got a 2 and 6 times 2, so that is 4, and then the effect, I guess I can just lower the resistance of the track, right?
Yep. So 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so that reduces the rest of the work track, so you get your second breakthrough. You still need one more.
Okay.
So that is your turn. The robot, unless you guys want to keep the initiative, you don't have any momentum, but you could pay me threat to keep the initiative. Do you want to do that?
I don't think we need the extra threat at this point. What do you think, Commander?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Let's just let it ride.
Okay, so once again the robot is searching through the darkness, trying to find a target. It's going to go after.
But we are trying to distract it away from the Doctor.
Yes, so it's going to continue to go after Captain Harriman.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that wasn't what I meant. No.
Hey, listen. If you die, then a redshirt doesn't die, and your record is still perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Doc.
And you'll be forever remembered as the most honorable captain in Star Trek.
So once again, it fires like an energy bolt from that large barrel it has on its arm. And once again, it doesn't hit you directly, but it gets in your vicinity, and it causes kind of an explosion, almost like an energy grenade. And it does 1, 2, 3, another 4 points of stress damage to you, Captain Harriman, but we'll reduce it by 2 because you're still under cover.
Okay, so I take 2 stress.
Yes, correct, 2 stress.
Feeling a little bit stressed out here.
And so the initiative shifts back to you guys. Dr. Ozil has acted this round, but the rest of you have not.
Honda's going to look for like these cables or stuff like that. That's linked to the arm of this robot. I mean, how large is it? It's like 15 feet, you said?
Yes.
If we can't injure the robot, let's see if we can at least create complications for it. See if we can, I don't know, bring down parts of the structure around it, or maybe even damage the floor underneath it.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea, Captain, but Hondo rushes at that robot and climbs on top of it and tries to pull out the cords, that's linking the light.
Jeez. Yes, that's awesome.
Okay. I'm like Picard and Riker double face palming here.
Commander Han, give me a daring plus security roll, which I will oppose with the robot's roll.
All right. 1 success.
Okay, let's see here. Oh my gosh, I didn't roll any successes, and I rolled a 20. So,
nice.
So you are able to go ahead and narrate for me how you're able to climb on top of this thing. It's sort of like I imagine it as like Ed 209 from RoboCop.
Yeah, I mean, as it was firing at the captain, Hondo just takes the opportunity. Well, the captain was taking the, fire, and he's yelling the order, barking out the order. Hondo just takes that opportunity and jumps on top of the hind leg and uses that momentum to climb up on it and tries to reach the searchlight, the power cord or something like that from the searchlight. And he's going to try to yank it out.
Cool. So your action this round was to climb on top of it. If you want to do another quick action, you can pay me threat to do so.
Yeah, I'll pay you a threat and see if they could just yank out that searchlight.
Okay.
Or the sensor.
Yeah. Give me another. Actually, this is going to have to be like an engineering roll. Give me a daring plus engineering roll with a difficulty of 2.
Right. I'm just going to go at it straight. Ooh, 1 success.
Okay, so you're like immediately the robot starts like spinning around, and its waist is like a pivot joint. It just starts spinning in like 360 degrees, then jerking back another 180 degrees, and you're just able. You don't have the strength and presence of mind to like figure out the workings of this thing while it's trying to buck you off. But that is where you are for the moment. So we've still got Kazik and Captain Harriman and Lieutenant Johnson to act.
Okay, I'm going to go. Presumably Hando's sort of on the back of this thing, climbing around, pulling things out. So I don't really want to bring down the roof or anything on top of him. So I'm going to try aiming for the feet of this thing. See if I can somehow make it stumble and fall over. Preferably not on top of Hando.
Yeah, give me this will be a difficulty 3, control plus security roll, and if you roll any complications, something bad might happen to Commander Han, as he is like riding like a rodeo rider on top of it.
Yeehaw, Captain!
Okay, so where are we? 14, so 1 success. Oh, that's under my. Oh, I don't have any protocol, any focuses. So 2 successes and 3 successes. 9, 4, and 11.
Okay, cool. So you are able to roll damage for me.
Okay, so we have a 4, a 1, 3 3s, and 2 5s. So that's only 3 damage I get.
Okay, so you are able to hit one of the legs of this robot, and it kind of goes down on one knee, and for the moment loses the use of that leg, which will limit its mobility. But once again, it's like not a lot of damage that you think will affect like the overall operation of the machine.
Yeah, at least it might affect its aim, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not at this point. I'm not sort of trying to damage it as such. I'm just trying to, within the game system, give it as many complications as possible.
Yep. Okay, cool. We've still got Johnson and Kazik to act. What do you want them to do?
Same thing. Let's see if we can kind of bring it to its knees.
Okay, so they both got control plus security of 12. And so it'll be difficulty 3 rolls to make aim shots. So any of you can roll for them.
Miguel, do you want to take one? Hello, Miguel.
Yes. So let me go ahead and do an aim shot. I got 11 and 19.
Okay, just 1 success, not enough. So his shot kind of bounces off the thick metal plating of the robot.
But it was an aimed shot, wasn't it?
Yes.
So does that mean you get a reroll?
Oh yeah, he can reroll 1 die.
The good news is it's a 5, so it does hit.
Okay. Roll damage. It'll be 5. He's got 5 CD.
Okay. 5 damage altogether, 2 2s, and 1 5.
Okay. So that's another phaser blast into the legs of the robot, and it sort of drops down to where both of its knees now, and doesn't appear to be very mobile for the moment.
Okay, and then whoever didn't fire, I'll fire for them.
Okay.
So, a 2. That's got to be at least 2 successes. And a 10 is another one, so 3 successes.
Okay, roll damage.
Ooh, not a lot. 2, a 2, a 3, a 1, 2, a 3, and a 6. So that's only 3 damage again.
Okay. So once again, not enough to like stop the robot, but for the moment it seems to be like held in place. You've done enough damage to its legs, it's probably not going to be able to move anywhere.
Yep, if we can keep it off its feet and off balance, then maybe the commander can do something.
So that is the end of that round of combat. I'm going to spend the threat to get the initiative on the robot side, as its other arm kind of reaches up and goes after the cowboy riding on top of it. Commander Han, I need you to give me a daring plus security roll, and I will tell you what.
1 success.
Okay, the robot got 3. So
man.
one of its robotic arms grabs onto you, and I gotta figure out how many CDs it does. Okay. So it does 6 points of damage to you as it clenches onto you with its robotic arm, slams into you.
Okay.
So that will do another injury unless you pay me 2 threat to avoid the injury.
This time I will pay two threats.
Okay. Go ahead and describe for me how Commander Han, despite having this robot arm now clenching you, pinning you to the metal on top of it, how you're able to stay conscious and stay working.
He twists his body, through his years of training in hand-to-hand combat, and he twists it so that when the hand clenches it, it doesn't get a very good hold of him, but just enough so that he's able to avoid being crushed in as the fingers or the claws basically come to its limit.
Awesome. Yeah, just through your sheer highly trained agility, you're able to keep yourself from being smashed alive on top of this robot. So it is now acted. Any of you can now act if you like.
Hello? Yeah, Hando's gonna, be in that position over it. He's gonna aim at the searchlight and shoot it.
Okay. Difficulty 3, control plus security roll.
Well, I only got 2 dice, so I'll pay you 1 more threat.
Okay.
I would say things are looking a little more desperate now, so I would say burn as much threat as you like.
I also have I have yet to roll the hacking, so.
Okay, maybe next turn then.
There you go. So, 3 successes.
Okay. So you're able to keep your presence of mind, and you turn and fire your phaser at the searchlight on the robot's other shoulder and completely sever it. And the room is blanketed in darkness. But for the moment, you're still pinned on top of the machine. Anyone else can now act.
Okay, time for me to go.
So this will be difficulty 1, and it's daring plus engineering.
Okay. Okay, natural 1 and a 5. So 3. So 2 overall.
2
Now
points.
I'm gonna roll. Okay, I got 3 so far. A 6, so that's 4. I got 1 more. And a 5, so 5.
Okay, 5 is enough for your 3rd breakthrough. As so on top of this, the robot has your crewmate pinned on top of it, trying to squish him to death. There's phaser fire that's kind of strobing the room, and suddenly on your tricorder, you realize you have hacked into this thing's operating system and can basically give it any command you want to.
Stop killing my friend.
It releases Commander Han.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to set this into a repeat. Basically, no more hostile thing. All of that to just stand down. I'm going to let the rest of them know as I was able to get into it.
Yeah, it stops firing. It lowers its barrel, which is still like a stream of smoke rises off of it, but it's like suddenly dark and motionless, and it's eerily silent suddenly in this dark robotics laboratory.
Doctor, that's twice that you saved me from a certain death.
Yeah, well done, Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a few seconds just to room from where, make sure there's nothing else posing an immediate threat.
You don't notice anything.
Okay. Everybody okay? Anybody need medical attention?
Miraculously, I'm okay, Captain.
I'm just feeling a little bit more stressed out than usual. Okay, so I'm really hoping that was the personnel suppressor robot. Because if that was just one of its minions, then we're in a lot of trouble.
Hondo examines the hulking robot to see whether he could identify the power source.
Give me an engineering roll. How about insight plus engineering? It'll be difficulty 2.
Only one success.
This is not a robot from a civilization you're familiar with, and you're just not sure.
Well, Captain, I've never seen anything like this before. I can't even locate where its power source is located.
Well, the doctor seems to have it under control for the moment and out of action. Where are these other robotic bodies that this Helix was interested in?
You look around the room and you see that there's parts scattered all over the place, as well as what look to be like powered down robotic bodies. You think you're able to identify several candidates that you think would be suitable for Helix.
Okay, are we able to move any of these?
Yeah, there's like maybe an anti-grav cart nearby that you could use.
How about this one, Captain? Hondo holds up the most flimsy-looking one.
I tell you what, let's take a few minutes. Together. Kind of want an assessment from you. I want to pick a body that we can be reasonably confident we can actually disable. I don't want to give Helix a body that that we can't somehow disable or neutralize. Because again, I don't trust it.
Not so loud, Captain.
Well, I'm really, really hoping you can't actually hear what's going on in this room.
If any of you wanted to do difficulty 2 reason plus engineering roll, you could perhaps equip the robotic body that you choose with some kind of like fail-safe, like an off switch that maybe you guys would only know about.
Reason plus engineering?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just roll, and then I'm going to be right back in a quick second. Got a reason plus engineering is 13. I have an 8. So 1 success.
Someone could assist if you want to.
I'll just roll a random die, and you just pick whoever could be assisting, unless the other guys have some in that. Three. So someone does assist, like one of the red shirts. He knows how his computers or engineering. He took it as a minor.
Yeah, Kazik, the Andorian, knows a little bit about robotics. And yeah, so you guys are able to equip the robotic body with a fail-safe mechanism.
So, what's the failsafe? Is it a passcode? A word? Would it power down upon saying a word or something?
I like that.
Yep, anything that we can sort of trip at a moment's notice, I think is useful.
He shrugs and he says, "How about sushi, Captain?"
Did I lose you guys?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, I was just out of the room for a second with the dog.
Cool. Okay.
Yep. Any phrase that we think would be useful? That would
Hondo suggested sushi as the password.
Okay, sushi it is. Okay, let's get the anti-gravs on this thing and see if we can get it back into the other room. And fingers crossed that Helix really hasn't been listening to everything we've been saying.
So yeah, you're able to take this robotic body back into the artificial intelligence laboratory, and it only takes a few minutes as the machinery in the AI lab connects to some of the ports in the robot and transfers the AI's programming into the robot, and it powers up and stands up, and its lights kind of flash on like eyes, and it says, "Yes, this will do quite nicely. Thank you. I am in your debt."
Good. Then if you could please tell us the way back to the surface and to our ship, we would leave you in peace.
Yes, simply take the lift back up, and you are free to go. With this new body, I will be able to take care of this facility in a completely more thorough and hands-on way. And I actually quite like the sensation of having a physical form.
Excellent. We're glad we could be of service, and thank you very much for the dilithium. And with that, we'll head for the turbo lift.
And just before you go, the robot picks up like a pad or some kind of like data storage device and hands it to you, and says, "Captain Harriman, as further sign of my gratitude, please take these algorithms. They will help you navigate the black hole network back to where it is you came from."
Ah.
You see,
thank you very much, Helix.
Yes, this entire planet was terraformed to provide ideal conditions for a huge spectrum of life forms. Scientists from throughout the region flocked to this preserve to conduct research, as well as tourists and other curious parties. However, the Macrec discovered a spaceborne eel-like species that use wormholes as a means of transportation. The Macrec brought a sample of these eels back to the preserve for study, not knowing that the creature was just one small organ of a much larger colony creature. This colony creature emerged from an enormous wormhole, and it decided that this preserved planet would make an ideal habitat. It made its new home here, driving away the Macrec completely. The colony creature now covers the majority of the planet's surface, as I'm sure you may have noticed, although the preserved's central complex is still largely intact due to my efforts to protect it.
So, at the moment, our ship is entangled in this creature's tentacles. Can you tell us how you managed to keep the creature away from your structure? It might help us repel the creature without actually having to harm it.
Yes, for years it tried to encroach upon this facility. I was able to use energy weapons and explosives to drive back its advances. Eventually, it seems to have learned and quit trying to invade.
So, do you have any suggestions as to how we might disentangle ourselves from its tentacles, other than perhaps opening fire on it, which I want to avoid if I can?
I have not determined a way to communicate with this creature. I've used energy weapons.
Okay, that's a shame. Okay, Doctor, Commander, anybody else can think of anything that they want to ask Helix before we leave?
Captain, perhaps we could find a way for the Starfleet to return here. If this was a hub of scientific research, it would be of great use to the Federation.
Well, we have the algorithms to navigate the wormholes, so we can perhaps use those to come back here, but let's focus on actually making out of here in one piece first, huh?
As you say, Captain.
Okay, let's head back to the shuttle then.
So yeah, I won't make you make any rolls. We'll just you're able to get back to the shuttle without any complications and pilot it back the way you came, and you're able to get back to the Venture without incident.
Oh, good.
Great.
Okay, how are the repairs going?
Lieutenant Tasai has the crystals, the dilithium crystals installed, and is maybe a couple of hours away from powering everything back up.
Ah, good work. Keep at it then. While you're about it, Lieutenant, can you figure out some way to send either an electrical or an energy charge through the hull? I want to try something that dissuades this creature from holding on to us. I want to try and get it to loosen its grip without actually shooting at it.
That is an intriguing possibility, Captain. Do you have any specifics about how something like that might be attempted? I've never tried anything along those lines.
Well, I'm thinking once we've got the main power back up, is there some tricks that we can pull with the shields or maybe the deflector dish?
What about yes, I think we can do something with the deflector dish, but also the shields if we power it up, modulate the frequency with it.
Yeah, if we can maybe send out some kind of pulse from the deflector dish and, for want of a better phrase, deflect it through the shields so that it covers the entire hull.
It is possible, sir. Never having dealt with a creature of this magnitude, I don't know what effect it would have.
Well, we're all in the same boat there, Lieutenant, so let's see if we can't give it a shot.
Okay. So we'll jump a couple of hours ahead as we're back on the bridge. Main power has been restored, and the plan is to channel some kind of energy pulse through the deflector dish to see if it allows the ship to break free of this creature's grasp.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
we'll make sure we're all ready to go first. Main power up, engines operational, shields operational.
Yep.
The shipboard tactical systems ready, sir.
Yep, I think we'll go to red alert when we're ready and have the phasers and, well, probably not photon torpedoes operating. Because if we fire torpedoes, it's going to be at really close range, and that's going to hurt.
All right. So
in the meantime, Doctor, I think the commander could do with spending a little time in sickbay. I believe you were injured.
Just a flesh wound, Captain.
The bear chewed your shoulder.
I'll man the tactical system, sir.
Flesh wound.
And yeah, if I could.
Okay. Well, if you need it, you've got the opportunity, I think.
You got it, Captain. I think I'm fine for now, sir.
Okay, so everyone's at their bridge stations. The ship is at red alert. Main power is back online, and you can feel the energy kind of humming through the conduits on the bridge, and out the main view screen, you can still see that this enormous colony creature is grasping the hull of the ship. So we're going to say this is going to be a difficulty 4. We'll say reason plus security for Commander Han to guide the deflector array. Captain Harriman, you can assist with a presence plus command roll, and the ship can assist with structure plus con, so a 10.
Okay, well, reason plus security for me is 12.
You going to roll for the ship there, Miguel? Hey, Miguel. Hello.
Do we lose Miguel?
All right. What is it? You want me to roll for the machinery, right?
Yeah,
I was going to say you roll for the ship. I'm rolling an assist. You roll for the ship, and then
Okay.
Jon can roll for the main task.
So
Okay, yeah. Let me go roll.
The way I'm kind of imagining this is you're all kind of working together on the bridge in concert as one like well-oiled machine. You've got 2 points of momentum as Commander Han is at the tactical station directing the energy through the deflector dish, and Captain Harriman, you are kind of hovering over him, working with him to guide the ship through this process, and Miguel, you can roll for the ship itself.
Okay,
Let's
I'm just
hope
going to do a
everything
quick
goes
check
good.
because I might have some talents here that will help out.
Okay.
I got a 6 for the ship.
Okay, there's one success.
Okay, I'm going to take 1 momentum.
Okay.
I'm going to roll 3 dice. Oh, boy.
I've really got to make a note of some of these talents.
1 success only.
Okay.
Just bear with me because I'm not too sure which book they're in.
Oh yeah, take your time.
Yeah, if it was like, daring or control with security, I would have done a lot better.
Okay, so I've got 1 that increases the crew support. That's no good. The good news is I can search PDFs, but the bad news is it still takes a while. Mainly because I'm having to search multiple.
Could I use one of my values? I will not fail my duty when others rely on me as my value, and do a reroll or something.
So your value, yes, will allow you to use your point of determination for this session, which would give you an automatic critical success. So that would bump you up. That would give you 2 more successes.
Okay. Excellent. I'll do that.
Okay, then I will ask you to role play for me how Commander Han's value plays into this situation, this stressful situation on the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, at first he kind of fumbles, the aim, and then, he actually, doesn't use the right frequency, and finally, at the very last moment, he gets that 1 success, and inspiration hits him and says, "I cannot fail while others are relying on me," and then quickly readjusts the frequency so that he's got it in that perfect the synergetic moment. I don't know.
I like frequency. I think that'll work.
Yep, I didn't have anything that would help, but I did roll 1 success. So.
Okay, so that gives you a total of 5 successes when you needed 4, so you get a point of momentum. as everyone working on the bridge in concert with the capabilities of the ship sends this pulse out through the main deflector, kind of striking all the fleshy tentacles wrapping around the starship. And you can feel the bridge, you can feel the ship straining as it tries to lift off. And for several interminable moments, it feels like it's not going to work. But then Commander Han, at the last instant, finds just the right frequency, causing the tentacles to almost spasm open, and the ship rockets upward into the upper atmosphere of the planet and into space.
Excellent. Let's get away from this planet full impulse. See if we can put some distance between it and us.
Good.
Yeah, so using the algorithms that Helix provided you, you're able to enter into the network of wormholes and find your way back to where you started, which is just outside a nebula, where you engaged with those two Orion interceptor craft. And you emerge from the wormhole. The Venture emerges from the wormhole, basically just a few instants after you entered into it. And your Klingon allies, the Tem Drakak, led by I gotta look this up. Sorry, guys. The Tem Drakak, captained by Commander Dragath, hail you.
Okay, I'll answer it.
And
Commander.
This large grinning Klingon appears on the screen, and you can see from the sensors from explosions that the other Orion interceptor has been dispatched. And this grinning Klingon fills the screen, and he says, "Ha ha ha! You disappeared just as the fight was getting exciting. I suppose I should have expected as much from a cowardly Starfleet crew."
Yeah, you just keep on believing that, Commander. But remind me to tell you about our little adventure through the wormhole over a bottle of blood wine.
I will, Captain. I look forward to hearing your tale.
And good work in dispatching the other Orions. I'll make sure that Starfleet is aware of your work.
Cool. And that is where we will end this episode, Escape Velocity.
Nice.
I am going to do one more thing.
Oh, yep, go ahead.
Once we're sort of free and clear, I'm going to have a quick word with the Doctor and the Commander in my quarters.
Yeah, cut to your quarters.
Okay, gentlemen. I would like to say that I think you both did an excellent job out there. Doctor, your quick thinking cut short a battle that could well have killed several members of the crew, including myself. So thank you for that. And Commander, your quick thinking and your bravery helped distract that robot long enough for the Doctor to hack into it and bring it down. So thank you again for that. I'd like you to know that I am going to put you both in for commendations with Starfleet for your actions.
Thank you very much, Captain. It was an honor to be out in the field with you.
That said, Commander, if you pull that kind of crazy stunt once more without orders, I will shoot you myself. And it won't be on stun.
I don't think I would try to climb on top of a battle drone once more. That was a bad idea.
I think we can probably generalize that a little bit as well.
So, Captain, Dr. Ozil, should we get some eel sushi?
That's probably a good idea.
A break from fish for a while.
Yes, no eels.
My treat, sir. And
But I'll see if I can't lay my hands on some Romulan ale as well. I think we deserve it.
Captain, that sounds absolutely excellent.
Awesome. And that is where we will cut and the credits roll for this episode.
Nice.
And we will see you next time on Star Trek Explorers as the USS Venture warps off to its next adventure.
Awesome.